Hey everybody, happy Friday. Oh my God, and what a freaking week it's been. I was just telling Dawn we've had a hell of a week. Real estate is definitely jumping crazy again. Literally happened almost overnight. But life on this side of the camera looks a lot different on a Friday afternoon than a Thursday morning or a Thursday afternoon. So here we
100%.
are. Talking about crazy. That was my dog that just on the door. I'm telling you, it has been one of those things. So,
Yeah, it has been. It's been okay. So let's just get into it. Last week we had a hard time getting our recording going because you're switching over computers and we're using this new podcast thing. And this week we got on here at 4:30. It's now 4:56. We literally spent 30 minutes getting our computers up and running. I don't know. I don't think we're technically stupid, but it's like sometimes, I don't know, these things just don't ever work the way you plan them out to be. So it's
no, and
insane.
it's the crazy. It's like just little things. So I give people that like live on those screens tons of credit because this is tough. But here we are,
Yeah.
killing it. I got a nice sour beer that I'm drinking,
Sour beer.
doing this pot. Yeah, it's awesome. Yummy.
Good for you. I'm so glad. And you're a lot happier this week than you were last week. I thought last week, I could see it in your eyes. I was like, girl is going to kill somebody.
Don't think it has been a simple week because this week I can't even, I know we're going to talk about real estate agents and stuff, but I just have to tell you this quick story about it's never ending.
You know, fun, I love your stories, right? And I need them because they keep me going.
My goodness. So
I know I keep looking at my hair. I'm like, I don't think I even brushed my hair before this podcast era.
I know, I'm going, I've been running around. It's crazy. So I have a closing yesterday, and the agent, my sellers, the agents do the final walkthrough the day before. And she calls me and she's like, hey, so final walkthrough is good. I'm going to keep the key and bring it to closing and give it to the attorneys, whatever. The closing was like 45 minutes away. So I'm like, that's cool.
This is the other agent, right?
Yep, this is the buyer's agent. Mm-hmm. Long story short, she did not keep the key. She hid the key at the house, unbeknownst to me. And I went to the house to take the lockbox off about 2 hours before closing. And these buyers were literally in. Can you guys hear my kid raging right now? He's literally raging. I can't. That stupid Fortnite game.
Friday.
I know. Everybody's so ready for the weekend. So they were in the house fighting. I don't know what they were fighting about. Screaming, dogs barking.
Oh my god.
Completely going crazy. Yeah. And I'm going, okay, well, I don't even know what's really going on right now. So I'm going to just take my camera and adjust it just a little bit. So I'm like kind of nervous. I really don't know what's going on. I'm trying to take the lockbox off. Dad flings open the door, doesn't even look at me, like literally like walks right by me. Mom is chasing him. They jump in the vehicle and take off. Now, keep in mind, we haven't even closed on this house yet.
Yeah. It's never a good idea to let somebody have the keys before closing.
Correct. But, when you're working with another equal agent and they're the ones taking their buyers to the closing, you're like, take them, whatever. This agent completely screwed up. Lesson learned on my part for sure. But they leave a child and a dog in this house. And I'm just like, I'm watching as they drive away and I'm like looking around. I call the agent, can't get a hold of her. I'm like, I don't even know what to freaking do right now. So, I obviously let my sellers, yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm just going to hide. I let my sellers know what was going on. Oh, I wanted to crawl under a desk too and hide.
Yeah.
But,
that's how
I called my sellers obviously and let them know what was going on. And thank God they were like cool and calm with it and everything went really smoothly. But I'm like, there is never a closing that goes completely you get all this way and all of a sudden you're like, okay, we're at the finish line. And then bam, I for sure thought something worse was going to happen. It was just crazy.
Yeah. No, that's stressful.
That's just one story of the week. There's 1,000.
I mean, but that's a great story because a lot of times, like other agents think that there's no harm in letting them have the key a couple hours early. But there's so many things that could go wrong within those few hours or even a day early that could land back on you. Like, you know, like what if the house burns down? What if they move in and they burn the house down the day before closing?
Right.
Then who's responsible?
Or
So,
what if the little girl got hurt? Or what if, and that's
yeah,
what I said. I'm like, and I try to tell all my buyers, it is not your house until you
right.
sign and the attorneys give you a stack of papers. It is not your
Yep.
house until that very moment, you know, because you hear all the
100%.
time, well, it's my house, whatever.
Yeah.
But you know,
And
it's one of those, I was just going to say, it's one of those things where the real estate industry is no joke. Like there is constantly, like, I feel I just got all my grays colored today. Thank God, because I was looking about like 50 years older than I actually am. Exactly. So I'm like the stress and the constant, like you have to be a river with real estate. You just have to keep flowing with it, right? You can't just like, but I think this is what's causing the real, I mean, if you look at statistics on how many realtors are leaving the business, it's insane.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, have you noticed that?
60,000 realtors have left the business in the first half of 2023. And that was just the beginning.
In Florida.
So they're in
Are you
Florida.
talking about just in Florida? Just in Florida.
Yep. So they're expecting way more. So in the next 12 to 24 months, they're expecting at least another half of realtors to leave. But with that said, I think it's the realtors who don't always do a good job that are leaving or find the real estate market too hard. So what's going to be left is going to be your die-hard realtors.
It's going to be your hustlers, the ones that get the job done.
Competition is going to be harder and things are going to get done and business is going to be tough for realtors, but it's going to also be really good for the buyers and sellers because they're going to have those hardcore realtors working for them.
Yes, they're going to have the, you know, tough as the tough. And
the tough.
They should, honestly, because it's not a weak market as far as buyers and sellers. I mean, you got these very demanding sellers, but you also got these very demanding buyers. And if you don't have if you have an agent that's just going to roll over or not answer their phone or not, you know, get the deal
on to
together.
The next one, right? Move to the next agent if that's the case.
Right. Well, and you're gonna lose out on deals as a buyer and seller too, because you're not, you know, you don't have someone hustling. So it is just kind of crazy. And I feel like
well, it's kind of what you talked about last time. I think it was either last time or the other time before, but just like, I guess, you know, grooming your customers or just keeping them informed the whole time and giving them the information that they need. And it's just, those are the realtors that are going to stick with the business and that are going to do really well. The ones that are constantly updating their clients, giving them the information, updating the other agents, talking to the lawyers, talking to the closers, talking to the lenders, and getting it done.
Right. And total honesty, transparency. Like I have no problem if I'm with a buyer, even a seller. I mean, I've been in a few houses this week for some listing appointments, and I'll straight up tell them, you know, that color that you chose to paint your room because you wanted to sell your house, I don't know where you got that from, what cartoon you pulled that off of, but nobody's going to want that color in their house. I promise you. Well, purple's not. Well, I'll change it because it's not everybody's favorite color. I mean, it's mine. Go Ravens. But
oh my God, I love you.
It's like, what are you thinking, people? You know, like, I just don't get it.
What you said there makes a lot of sense. And that's one thing that I have been learning is being honest. And sometimes it means being brutally honest. Sometimes you can sugarcoat your honesty or you can guide somebody to the truth gently, you know, but sometimes you can't. And you just have to say, hey, you painted your walls purple and your house is not going to sell. In fact, it's going to bring the value down. So you need to go back in and, you know, paint. And if they get upset, they get upset. But you know what? In the long run, you're looking out for their best interest and you're doing them a favor by telling them the truth and not by saying, oh, well, I guess purple's nice. You know, you got to be truthful.
Yeah. Oh, it's so pretty. No, you have to be. And, you know, it's like, and I try to tell people too, it's like, you know, and so same situation with them, you know, they're like, well, then they can come in and just paint it whatever color they want. And I'm going, when people walk into a house and they see colors of paint that they don't like on the wall, they see a project. It doesn't matter how much it's going to cost or how quick it can get done. They see a project, and it's just something that's going to just put one more ding in the thing. So yeah, total transparency with buyers and sellers. I mean, even with sellers, I'm brutally honest with them. As much as I want to make money and make a deal, the last thing I want is to be the blame for somebody's poor purchase or impulse buy. So I'm always like, well, make sure you know about this, and did you see this, and whatever, But yeah, it's going to come down to communication, really hustling for your people, and just keeping the ball moving, not leaving them in the dark, I guess.
Do you see what I'm putting up here now since we're talking about this? I don't know if you can see this. Hold on, it's going to load.
No.
Give it a minute.
Ooh.
We'll see. It's coming. I don't know. We'll give it a second. I've never used this feature before on
Screen
this
sharing?
Riverside podcast, so I'm trying to see if it will share the screen with you. But if it doesn't, we'll read them off anyways. But you had sent these to me. Where did you get these?
Oh my God. Okay, so if you these are the best. Let me just pull them up on my phone real quick.
Okay, so I've got some here, but tell me what are these? So I'm like looking at these and laughing.
I follow this. Oh, it's hilarious. So if you guys aren't following it, it's called The Lighter Side of Real Estate. It's a Facebook page that I just follow, and I absolutely love it. If you ever need like a good laugh. So this post was, what's something you've encountered in your career that you're reasonably confident most other agents have not? And these were some of the comments that were popping up.
Let me read one out loud.
Okay. And
I have one and then you read one. Okay. So this is the first time I'm seeing these. So this is going to be totally a blind reaction. I literally loaded them up and I had no time because I was trying to get the computer together. It says, so had a lady buy and close on a house and call me 3 months later to sell it, stating she couldn't live there because of all of the staging items were gone, and it reminded her of a house in her childhood where she's been abused. Oh, Sarah, that was actually awful. That's so terrible.
Why did you pick that one? Obviously, she didn't read these beforehand.
Okay, let's X that out. I'm going to read another one. Give me another chance. Okay,
try again.
Try again. Take 2. That was terrible. All right, previewing. I can't get over it. I thought these were going to be funny, and now it's got a tearjerker. Okay, previewing a vacant house and went out on the back deck, which had no stairs going down to the yard. Door shut and locked behind me, leaving me stranded on the deck with no key. Called the hubs to come and rescue me. Lesson learned. Take the key. Also, don't build a deck without stairs in the yard. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Okay, listen to this one because
don't read any more tearjerkers.
No, this one you're going to go, what in the actual hell was going through this guy's mind? Okay, so getting ready to do, is it this one? Many years ago when I was still an intern, was setting a show house principal agent, sitting in a show house, a principal agent came to visit the show house. So like an open house type thing. He disappeared somewhere in the house. I found him in the main bedroom wearing the bride's wedding dress. Then I heard, hello, someone coming to view the house. I shoved him in the cupboard and locked it and left him in there until the client left. Okay, here you are. What did she say? A principal agent, so like a broker, an associate broker. It comes in and starts trying on wedding dresses. Like, what?
I would not even know how to react, but I guess she did a good reaction. Shove him in the closet. Don't let anyone see him.
My God.
And then you have a conversation after the customer's gone and be like, dude.
Right.
You need help.
Like, people are just,
you can't be trying on other people's clothes.
No, a wedding dress? No.
Yeah.
And somebody else posted, shotgun pointed at my chest on rural property with no cell service by an old man who was high out of his mind, survived it by using de-escalation techniques I learned in a different line of work.
Oh my God.
I mean, I've been chased by tenants in their underwear. Oh, right. No kidding. Holy cow.
Chased,
All right.
you've
What else
been
you got?
chased by, wait, you've been chased by tenants in their underwear?
In their underwear. I went to do a showing and they didn't want the house. Like it had already been like approved and whatever. And they didn't want the house shown. And I didn't know, like I knocked, I'm like, knock, knock, realtor, come in. And I guess they didn't hear me or whatever. They come flying down the stairs in their underwear. They chased me half a block and my buyers half a block with a stick in their hand in their underwear. It was insane. Get off my property.
Visually just like imagining this right now that you're running down the street. Are you in heels at this point?
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, picture that. And then in heels. It was real freaking cute. I'll tell you what.
Oh my God, bless your heart. That would be
I can't.
You need to be on a real estate reality show, girl.
No, we do. Let's do it.
The craziest stuff happens to you. Okay, I'm going to read another one of these. That is hilarious.
Yes.
Had a lady buy and close on a house, call me 3 months later. Hold on. I'm reading the same one again. I've got doubles here. Oh, God. Trapped at the base of the cellar stairs by a very vicious cat who wouldn't come up the stairs. Oh my gosh. Okay. I have a cat.
I've seen crazy
cats are crazy.
Before.
Yeah. Cats can be crazy.
Really crazy.
I actually know somebody who was trapped in their own house though, by their cat. I guess the cat just went crazy and like was trying to bite them, so they ended up calling the police to come and rescue them.
Holy cow! Serious? That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Crazy. They're not like dogs. They're a little bit crazy.
No, and they're very like personal. I have one more I want to read because this has literally happened to me before.
You did not give me the good ones. I'm just going to state that out loud.
Oh, I didn't even pick. I just picked two. I blind sent them to you because I didn't read through all of these. I started screenshotting them. I'm like, oh my God, I have to share these. But this one, I had a rental unit for sale and tenants moved out. I went by 2 to 3 days later to verify it was empty. Everything was gone except for one thing. They took their pets, but they left their fleas. Luckily, I lived close, but had to undress on the deck and spray my clothes, including my gold jacket. Had to shower the next day. I had to fumigate my car and get rid of them. So let me just,
you've had that happen to you.
Yes, it was crazy. I had tenants move out and I was walking through the house with my maintenance guy. I didn't even see the fleas then, but just walking through the house and I get in my car and I'm going back to the office and my maintenance guy calls me and he's like, Sarah, do not go home. I'm like, why? He goes, I am covered head to toe in fleas. And I had just stepped out of my truck. I go, what? And he goes, just check your body or whatever. Now, we didn't sit down. We didn't touch walls. We walked through. And so I just like rolled up the bottom of my pants and I see fleas crawling up my legs. Go lay down. And I'm like, oh my God. So then I called my kids and I'm going to let her out real quick. So then I call my kids and I'm like, lock up the blinds, lock up this. I'm literally stripping in the driveway and going in the house. And that's exactly what I did. I pulled up. I got completely naked in my driveway, bombed everything. I was freaking out so bad. And the sad part is like where these fleas came from. She had 4 kids living in that house. Like, oh man, sad. You know, they had to take some fleas with them, but
So did you see any fleas on you when you got the information?
Yeah, so I'm calling on my leg. Oh yeah, but so then once I took all my clothes off and I jumped in the shower, I didn't see anything. But when they say to like soak your clothes in like a big tub, which I did outside. I just put them in a pool. And you could see some coming off. And they typically were just on my shoe. I was wearing like these loafer style cloth shoes. And they were just oh my God, it was so bad. Yeah. But it gave me the creeps after that for the longest time.
Yeah, so, that's scary. That's scary. And I don't know a whole lot about fleas, but I can imagine you wouldn't want them anywhere near you or on you or is it like lice or is it a little bit different?
Yeah, well, so it's funny that you say that because we grew up in Utah and I'm sure it's more dry in Florida too. I really didn't even know what fleas were until I moved to New York and realized how easy they are for like animals to get and whatever. But yeah, they are kind of like that. They like to hide in the dark spots of animals typically, but they bite you and they lay eggs like crazy. So if you get them, they are so hard to get rid of.
Yuck.
And like I said, I didn't know that. for
Yeah.
forever. And the first time I had, I don't know what dog was it? I can't remember what dog it was, but we had brought her to get groomed, and
Yeah.
she came home and she just kept chewing, chewing, chewing. And I found it on her. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I freaked out because, yeah, I mean, I guess you could compare it to like head lice, and that would freak me right out too.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
so when I moved to Florida, speaking of bugs, they have they call them palmetto bugs here, right? That sounds nice.
What? Hashtag what?
Hashtag cockroaches. These suckers, I am telling you, they're like huge. Okay. So like we moved down here 14 years ago, got an apartment while we looked for houses. And there was one in our apartment that was that big. And I didn't know at the time. So I told Steven, like, get it out. So he's, like getting it out. This thing is huge. And
he's so great with those.
Yeah, he's great. I know, because you'll tell your story here in a minute. But they leave little poops that you can actually see. So it's like a mice. But anyways, he's like scooting it out. He's trying to scoop it up. Sarah, these things fly. We did not know that. That thing started flying towards my head. I am just chucking it down the hallway, running and screaming. And I was like, send me back to Utah. Let me pack my bags, because I have never seen anything like that in my entire life. That was the first time I saw one of those. They're gross.
So creepy. Well, and like, I guess what people don't
here too.
That's what I'm saying is what people don't
everywhere.
Yeah. What people don't realize is, like, if you're in like here, if you were to have cockroaches, you're a dirty person, right? It's filth. Like the warmer states like Nevada, Florida, those states, like that's a common thing to have. It's like ants or like whatever. Doesn't mean you have to like them or are used to them. And I'll never forget the time Steven introduced me to one of those and put it on my damn effing arm and freaked me. I think I dropped the F-bomb more times in 30 seconds than I've ever done in my entire life. And laughed. I mean, I ran around like a freaking kid. I wanted to jump right in your pool. Like, get it out.
Okay.
He just stuck it off me.
Statement. We don't always torture Sarah when she's down here. We don't.
They do. Yeah.
We love on her too.
I guess, you know what? Now I'm really starting to realize this with these podcasts, that I am the ass of every joke. It's fine.
Listen, it's just that you're so easygoing. We know that you're not going to get mad if we tease you.
I'm just an easy target, because I'm actually just.
You're not. You're not an easy target. Okay, so I have another real estate question for you.
Okay.
This one's for you, and then I'll tell you mine after. Okay. Do you always use a professional photography when you list homes?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I used to not. I used to do them myself, and especially on the like lower price listings, I would just go and get them done. I do it now, for one, because it saves me time, to hire the photographer and just have them go get them done. For two, the quality and the pixels are so much better, especially when it hits the web.
Yeah.
The lighting's better. It's just a crisper, better photo. And, and now I'm starting, my photographers are doing like floor plans for every house, and how they do it is just amazing. And the drone photo. So it just adds, it's one more thing that I offer to my sellers in the listing package. They're paying you decent money to get their house sold. It looks better. I'm not going to pinch pennies on pictures, because I feel like that's what gets buyers in the door. Right? I see listings sometimes that have terrible lighting. There's garbage everywhere, and realtors are just, and the first thing I look at when I see terrible pictures is, who the hell just listed that house? It's a reflection of you as an agent, what your product is. And I look at that as, that's a product for me. So I do. It's worth it to me to whether it's a $60,000 house or a $300,000 house or whatever, it's worth it.
Yeah.
What do you do?
That. I totally agree with you 100%. It's that whole thing, like, versus a professional, like my photos look like JCPenney portraits.
Right.
You know, those
Right.
80 JCPenney portraits where you're looking at somebody. But yeah, anyways, I think a professional 100% all the way. It's first impressions are huge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first thing that we're putting out there to the buyers. And we want them to love the home and see the potential is it. Even if it's like a virtually staged photo or just a regular photo, we want them to fall in love with the house. And the first impressions are huge to get them to even show up to the house, get their foot in the door to look at the home.
Right.
They do aerials, they do videos, they do the whole new like floor plan thing, which is great. And honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it is not a good idea to pinch pennies and do them yourself. You may be good at them, but you may not have all the right equipment and you may not have, you know, the professional skills, because you can see a huge difference in agents who do their own photos and agents who hire a professional.
Well, and I think I look at it too as like right. And I look at it too as like, look at a listing, for instance, done by a real estate agent or a listing done by a for sale by owner. Like there's a big difference. Like leave it to the professionals to do what they're good at and do what you're good at, you know? So I love my photographers.
So true.
My photographers are great. I love them. And I'll use them for everything. And then I take my same photographers for like branding photos, which I'm going to do again in March. And you just got some done, right?
Yes, I'll be posting those soon. So
those
they're
look
kind
amazing.
of top secret right
peek.
now.
Well, I got to see them. It's not, and they look really good.
You got a sneak peek. Thank you. But yeah, so I mean, professional photos all the way. And I like the analogy that you used with the professionals. Leave it to the professionals, because you can tell a difference between a for sale by owner and an agent. And we actually had a for sale by owner who paid to have their house on the MLS through a company where they pay like $100, $200 to list their home. And they ended up calling us saying, hey, we don't even have time to answer the phone for the calls that we're getting. We're traveling back and forth. We can't get people in the door. Then we got these ridiculous, crazy offers. And so we need to hire a professional. And it was just hugely different from the minute we started, with the listing presentation to getting the photos done, to getting their house listed and marketed and sold within 2 days.
That's amazing. So good for you guys. That's amazing.
Yeah. And they had it listed for about 4 weeks at that point. So they were happy to have it done and sold by professionals. And it was eye-opening for them. They definitely told us, hey, that was the hardest thing. We thought we could do it ourselves, and we can't even answer some of the questions that these people are asking. So
exactly. Well, because, and the good realtors like yourself make it look easy. So they're like, well, I can do this. I can totally do this and save me so much money, blah, blah. And then when they're in the heat of it, they're like, oh my God, I cannot do this. Like, so good for you guys. That's awesome. Yay. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yep. So good notes. I got 2 houses under contract this month, working on the 3rd. Fingers crossed. We've got a listing that needs to sell in this beautiful neighborhood.
A girls trip.
Yep, to Vegas or something. So yeah, very good. Anything going on? You got your closing done, right? With your
Yep, I had a closing yesterday, a closing today. Plus I put a house on the market today. Cute little house. Good. Go check it out. And then I have 2 listings going up on Monday. So I'm super excited about that. So just been trying to wrap those up this week.
You are busy. I love it. No wonder you're busy and crunch for time.
I know.
And then you're running out of here to go do some showings.
Yes, I have some showings that I got to get to. So, hopefully sell it. This is a really cool property. There's 2 houses next to each other. Dad wants to buy one house. Son and wife and family want to buy the house next door. So I'm hoping I can get a package deal together. It would be so awesome for the family and for everybody.
More families are doing that.
I love it. I would love to buy like a block and have my family just live.
I'm down. I'm totally down with you. I will do it.
Okay, then you gotta come to New York and let's buy some houses.
Wait, are we moving to New York or Florida?
Well, we can do half and half. We'll move to Florida in the winter.
Or we'll meet in the middle. How about that? What's in the middle? What's between us?
Yeah.
North Carolina, South Carolina?
Yes, let's go to North Carolina. I'm good there too.
All right, love. Thank you so much for taking the time today. I know you were so busy, and
this is always so much fun with you. We'll see everybody
next week, and hopefully we'll have our shit together.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be on time. Thursday. Might have to be a little bit later though because I'm freaking losing my mind. But yeah,